Welcome back to the Ride and Laugh podcast. If you love mountain biking, you are in the right place. Picture your last really fun group ride. You're back at the parking lot. The Stoke is high. Everyone's talking about the ride, tech, bikes, nutrition, jumps, drops, berms. That's what we do here every week on the Ride and Laugh podcast. You love bikes. We love bikes. Let's drop in. Sage, how are you today?
Danny, I am so excited. I got an apology to make, but I'm ready for this show, brother. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. This is one of my favorite parts of the week, just like all our listeners, I'm sure.
Yes.
You know, when they hear that intro and they hear Dan and Sage come on, and you know, it's always cool to have your boys come on your podcast, or if you're watching on the YouTube. So thank you, everybody. And we love recording this. You know, we talk for half an hour before, we talk for a half an hour afterwards. Maybe we'll make those conversations like a special Patreon.
Oh,
Something, you know. Sell those conversations.
Okay. Yeah. Sell those conversations. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if those have any actual real value, but we do have some awesome things to talk about today. Man, our listeners have come through. Once again, we have so many great comments on one of our recent podcasts and our Instagram. If you're not looking at the Ride and Life Instagram, check it out. We're trying to put out more content, and it's really fun, and it's getting some good interaction.
Yeah.
So today, I have a brake check, a legitimate brake check tip that is unlocking levels of jumping right away for me. An awesome jump tip.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We got short travel versus long travel debates. We've got rock and roll mountain biking stories.
Ooh.
So much awesome stuff.
Almost too much.
And I want to start with, and it is almost too much. Yeah, we're going to have to do an extra long pod or just kind of like squeeze it all in. So we were talking recently about mountain bike coaching, and you were mentioning that you had an opportunity with kind of a new rider who was interested in getting coaching right away. And we were saying how awesome that was to learn the good habits right away, and how things have shifted in the mountain bike coaching world. And our buddy Sean, who's 19 and has been in this youth, I think, NICA world, commented, now that there's all these youth mountain bike teams, those kids are getting mountain bike coaching from the very beginning.
Yeah, man.
So you have all these NICA leagues, all these really young people that are getting coaching. And I don't know what you're seeing in Pennsylvania, but the young riders here in Arizona are also the highest level riders in Arizona. Like some of the kids here, and I know there's all different ranges, but some of the kids here are just so unbelievably good. And Sean points out, they've been getting high level coaching from the beginning.
I know. I don't know how that helps us, but it was awesome to hear. It's kind of like, man, we missed that train. Yeah. It doesn't happen.
I guess, I mean, seeing some of these kids, the way some of these young people ride.
Yes. Yeah.
It's inspiring. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's intimidating a little bit, right?
We say limitless. They know no limits. It's amazing. I remember being that age and just being just like absolutely reckless, and just like, whatever. I don't have bills. I don't have nothing to worry about. And that's, to be able to ride free like that, that's the ultimate goal. That's what I'm trying to achieve now as an adult, is how do I ride free of all this weight? Because the reality is, I have all those things, right? We all have bills. We all have families. We have those things. But to be able to forget all that and just trust in yourself and trust in your abilities, man, that's the thing we want to achieve.
The fact that you could break a wrist, you could break a leg, and it's no big deal. When I was young, I was playing all this basketball. I sprained an ankle. I was out for a couple months. I was on crutches. It's no big deal. Then I came back and I played more basketball. Like I didn't really think about it. It was just something that happened. It wasn't like, it was a bummer I couldn't play basketball for a couple months while I had to heal.
Right.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Now I get a mountain bike injury and it's like, oh gosh, I can't ride my bike and I'm getting blood all over the place and I got to deal with doctor's appointments and the pain of it. Like I don't even remember thinking about that as a kid.
I know.
The other thing is what Dave Davidson at Mountain Bike Academy was talking about when he was saying, the habits that we've built over 20 years, maybe we've built these bad habits. So the kids aren't building bad habits, but they're also at their just able to compensate so quickly because of youth and eye-hand coordination is so fast and, reaction speed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of bad habits, I got an apology that I need to make to all our Ride and Laugh and Trail Sage listeners and supporters. And that is, you may not have seen me on social media much, and that is on purpose. And I apologize. I have been trying to keep up with the Ride and Laugh. You know, I'm making, doing all the responses and all that. But I have taken you've heard of social distancing. This is social media distancing. And I had to take a little break, man. I had to take a little breather. It was getting to me. It was really getting to me. And so if you haven't seen me on Strava, if you haven't gotten likes on Instagram or Strava, that is the reason why. I've just kind of, I still post to Strava, but I really tried to stay off of it. So that is my apology.
Well, I think you're putting us, or you're putting me in a very difficult position here, because I want to encourage you to do what you need to do for your mental health. And I want to encourage you to feel good.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I think that taking a break from social media is a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
However, we have a podcast that's on social media. Like, I can't encourage our listeners to take a complete break. I mean, you got to do 90%. You got to keep it 10% Ride and Laugh. You got to. We need our clicks. We need our likes.
Yes. I have been.
Great.
Yeah, listen, I have been staying on the Ride and Laugh portions. Yeah, when you make a post, I try and watch those. I try and answer comments if there's a comment that's specifically to me. But in general, that's it. Once that's done, I put the phone away and just taking a step back. Yeah, it's been great, man. It's been great.
What spurred that? Did you feel that you were going into too many rabbit holes, spending too much time on the phone? Was it generated? Was it doom scrolling?
Oh God, the doom scrolling, right? Yeah. In general, I just started feeling I was getting lost. At first, when you first start watching, right, it's exciting, right? You're like, oh, maybe it's a tip, a mountain bike tip, or maybe it's like a saying or something, or maybe it's just something funny and it feels good. But then like half an hour rolls by, an hour rolls by, and you're just like, there's just a glaze over your face. And you're like, what just happened? Like, where did time go? Mm-hmm. And I end up not feeling that great about myself. And, as people in the social media atmosphere, you have to do this, right? And I've had to do it for 6 years, with my channel, diving deep, making sure that I'm liking and commenting on everything. And it becomes a pretty big drain, not to play my own violin here, but it's taxing. It's taxing. And I felt myself getting lost in the mix.
Well, I know that you're still responding to all of the Ride and Laugh,
of course,
YouTube comments.
Yes.
And certainly if you're tagged in an Instagram post, you're responding to that.
Yes.
I think it's a great idea. Ride and Laugh 1 at Gmail, YouTube comments for anyone that's taking social media breaks. Obviously still keeping your Ride and Laugh podcast going. Does that include podcasts? That's a different thing, right?
This is the only podcast. This and Johnny U are pretty much the only podcast that I listen to.
Yeah, that's right. So I remember when we started this, you were like, Dan, you're going to have to tell me like more about the podcast world because I don't listen to any podcasts.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have music on in the background a lot?
While I'm scrolling?
No, just in general. Like, do you have if you're just like doing things around your house, will you have music playing on your phone?
I love music.
Or are you okay with silence?
Yeah, no, I grew up with music. Yeah, music holds a special place in my heart. I played a lot of instruments, and man, I do karaoke. I mean, come on, I love music. Yeah,
Trail Sage can sing. Yeah, you go to Costa Rica, you're gonna get some Trail Sage serenades. Oh yeah, a little run around the suit.
Whoa!
Yes, it's happening. It's happening. You gotta tell Matt to get a karaoke machine. It's happening. The social media break, man. I just feel like that's so important, and there's so much more to talk about there. Maybe we'll get into it on another episode as well. But for me, like when I go down that rabbit hole and then I come out and it's like, oh, is that how I wanted to spend that last 20 minutes? Like I don't have that back. I could have been watching a show with my kids or hanging out with my wife, and
exactly.
And it's just kind of like you just kind of like disappear. And is it serving you? It's almost like sometimes it's actually even just more fun to watch a show. So I do tend to follow things on social media that I really like, that are high vibe, that are mountain bike, and I do enjoy some of it.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to get carried away there. And I think stepping away if you need to for a little bit, I think that's probably a really healthy thing to do. And if there's resistance to do that, if you feel like you can't do that or you don't want to do that,
That's
and really look at those thoughts.
Yeah, we had a comment. We had a comment a while back, maybe about 3 or 4 pods ago, when we were getting into my loneliness, and Dan Juggernaut had commented, taking mental health seriously, and that comment meant a lot to me. And I had already been thinking about that before that, but I think, not to be, make this about sex, but like I think as dudes, especially from our generation, we were kind of not taught, but like you weren't expected to show emotion. Like you had to kind of like hold that in. It wasn't manly to quote unquote say that, and I think it's really cool that in this new generation, like to say what?
You said it wasn't manly to say that.
Oh, no, to display that. I'm sorry. Did I say no? To display that, to display your emotions, to talk about it, right?
Oh, display emotions.
Right,
okay,
right.
Yes.
And I look at my kids now and they didn't grow up with that, and I'm so happy that they didn't. My kids readily talk about it almost ad nauseum, and I think that's great. I think it's great that we're in a place now in our society where men and women can talk about their mental health and Good on society for making that switch.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you look at our parents, that they were much more distant, and then our generation and subsequent generations have started to loosen that up, and now kids these days and younger people these days, just like everything, it's just kind of more in touch, more grounded. I don't know. I mean, I'm an optimistic. I feel like there's less sexism, less racism. I just feel as you can point at some of the crazy things in the world, but you could also don't forget that there's still a lot of really good going on, and I think getting better. And so I feel like the future's bright.
Let's put this to mountain biking, right? Like how does this conversation relate to mountain biking? I'll tell you, it was a conversation that you and I were having right before this pod started about you on dirt therapy. And you said, I hit that 4th lap and it didn't go well. And I said, enough. That doesn't happen without maturity and just kind of acknowledging the fact that, I'm tired. In the old days, you didn't have that. I remember playing soccer and it was like grind it out until you fail, until you fall, until you're throwing up.
Yeah.
And is that the safe thing to do, right? Had you gone up for that 5th lap on dirt therapy because you wanted to push it, because you wanted to be a quote unquote man, and then what happens, right? You get hurt. Listen to your brain. Your brain it can get cluttered up there, but if you listen to what's the actual message is, that intuition is often the correct thing, and listen to it. That's how you get hurt.
It always is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's separating thoughts from intuition, right? Shoulds from presence. I should do this. If any thought starts with a should, that's a great sign that is not the true actual you. That's not the true Dan, the true Sage. That's not whoever listener. If it starts with should, put it away. Okay, thank you, but I'm not listening to that. And then what's left? And who's noticing that? Who just noticed the should? That's the real you.
Yeah,
that's where the magic happens.
Ooh, yeah. Boy, what, man, we got deep, right? I mean, we're like 10 minutes in. Wow. We got this deep. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa,
you know?
Buddy.
Kind of as far as like equality and non-judgment, we used to certainly judge mountain bikers. We had all our judgments about them. And now I am happily among the ranks of mountain bikers. I'm out here in the desert, running laps and it's super freaking hot. And so today I was at Hawes and I'm climbing up. There's a couple different climb trails, but I'm climbing up this trail called Alp, which is just a really long climb.
Yeah.
And as I'm climbing, there's an analog rider. It's hot. And this guy's out, he's got his hoodie on and he's standing and he's mashing. Oof. And as I start to approach him, and I'm like coming up out of my, at like 19 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I see he's on a single speed. And so I come up and I was like, yo, dude.
Yo.
Awesome. We are on exactly opposite bikes. And
that's right.
I only had a second to comment before I like zoomed around him, and I didn't think anything of it.
That's right.
So I do another lap and I got the e-bike and I start going again. So now I'm climbing this trail again, like an hour later.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, there's the single speed guy again. And I was like, dude, 2 times up Alp on a single speed in this heat, like that's amazing. And then I paused next to him There was a little bit of a wider space. And I said, wait, I'm assuming this is 2 times. How many times have you gone up? He said, this is my 8th time up.
Whoa. Yo.
And I was just like, yo, dude, that's amazing. Incredible. And I threw him some devil horns and kept riding. But wow. Respect.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, we just talked about that mental space, but that single speed, it taught us a lot about that mental space. I was on a road ride today doing my usual training, and the whole time I kept saying to myself, like, this is supposed to feel uncomfortable. This is not a joy ride for you. This is supposed to feel uncomfortable, and I got that mindset from single speed.
Don't you dare have fun.
Don't you enjoy this.
Fun.
Don't you enjoy this. I
don't want to see a smile on you.
Don't do it.
You want to smile? I'll give you something to smile about.
Yes. Yeah, but those years on the single speed, it helped me craft that mindset, dealing with difficult situations and being able to push through that. That was a positive. That I took out from that, and good on that dude. Eight times up help. I mean, what is that? 200-300 feet easily? Whew. Good for him.
I'm not. Yeah, I think it's at least 300 feet. I think it's closer to 4. It's probably somewhere between 300 and 400.
God bless.
It's a big climb.
Yeah.
I was bored on it. I went up it twice today, 3 times. I think I went 3 times on the e-bike, and I was bored of it. Yeah, but I get easily bored. I don't like you. You and I are the same way. We don't like riding the same trails. Over and over. Like I like to throw in variety. But the e-bike is awesome for sessioning, and I'm loving that. So
yeah.
We touched on your karaoke skills. We touched on rock and roll, and in previous pod, are you over bike, mountain bike suspension, travel, and Sage's rear wheel steering theory, which is episode 52 of season 2. I started off by saying how I took my daughter to a concert, and my rock and roll dreams were over because I would want to ride at all the locations.
That's right.
And I listened back to that podcast and I said, it's not because I'm tone deaf and it's not because I can't dance. It's because I would want to ride everywhere.
Yeah.
And I got several comments saying, Danny, don't give up on your rock and roll dreams yet. And then they listed all these rock and rollers. And I realized that maybe I wasn't specific enough. I'm not stopping because I'm tone deaf, which I am. And I'm not stopping because I can't dance, which I can't. I'm stopping because the dream is over because I want to ride everywhere. But there also is no dream. Like I have no musical talent. And I will absolutely sing your karaoke. I will embarrass myself. I'll get up there and sing because I love it. I love dancing and I love all of it. But anyone that was lamenting I'm giving up on an actual rock and roll dream. No, I was just thinking I couldn't be a rock and roller because I would want to shuttle with the tour bus.
You know what? Those comments are exactly what this Ride and Laugh is all about. Our listeners, they bought in. They're like, dude, you got this. Good. Yeah, you got this. Yeah, live the dream. Unlimited. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Profound effect.
I hear when you go falsetto during a bit with Sage, you sound great. I can do like the Bee Gees.
That's right.
And you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a ladies' man. Ooh. No time to talk.
Oh, I like
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting all the mountain bike Bee Gees fans. That's a big market. That was a good move.
Save it for the Patreon.
That's a good move.
Save it for the Patreon. Slow it down.
How much extra are you willing to pay for mountain bike Bee Gees? Well,
nothing. No,
we have actual none, zero. I don't even like the Bee Gees.
Oh boy.
What other falsetto song should I have gone with?
Well, I don't know, but it was interesting that you went with Staying Alive. I mean, pretty good for mountain biking. Yeah, your brain was working overtime there. Yes.
Yes. All right. You can tell. You can tell by the way I use my bike.
e-bike.
All right. Enough with this ridiculous bit. We have actual rock and rollers in our audience, one of whom is our good friend Ryan Butler, is like an awesome rock and roller. Check out Butler Does It on Instagram and his YouTube. You can actually see video of him rocking and rolling. He's turning 50 this week, and he was just playing a concert. It was awesome to see. I've seen so much video of him on a bike. It was really cool to see him with his guitar, his other passion. He commented that he was touring, and it was back in the day. He had his mountain bike action and how much he missed riding, and how difficult touring is. And we also had Idris Fashan, who said he was a working drummer and DJ in the 90s, and touring was great, but it aged me fast.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay with it. Despite the love of the art, it took too much out of me. And he also said how hard it was nutritionally to live on pub food and that sort of thing. So I think we glorify it. You know, for me, I always glorify like being a rock and roller, being a rock and roll star, growing up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The hair bands and, you know, and it was just like, oh, you know, the rock and roll guys had it all. Yeah. And then hearing these actual guys be like, oh, that was really hard. And I didn't get to do things that I loved.
You know, it's so funny how everything comes full circle. But when I think about, like, when I start thinking about music, you know, and people that are in rock and roll band, there's actually a lot of similarity to that performance and what you put out on a mountain bike. And here's what I'll say. If you've ever watched a stand-up comedian or even a musician go up and they half rear end it, you know, I can't say half ASS, and they don't sell out. I don't know if you can. I don't want to risk it.
You told me you could. You said it was a donkey.
That's right. You're right. Okay, so have you ever seen a comedian or a musician just half-ass it? They go up on stage and you could feel it. Like they're not selling out for it. You know, it's just like, And the same thing happens on mountain biking. When you're ready to commit to a feature, whatever it is, a jump, drop, whatever, do not go into this half-assed. Commit to it, right? If you're going to belt out a note, you go out there and you belt it out. Hey, maybe you might not hit it. You might not hit that note perfectly, but I tell you what, it sounds a lot better than if you're just like, you know, now go up there. Boom, hit that.
Ooh. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That is a great analogy. That is so true. I know you talk about that in karaoke, is that like the best karaoke singers when you go aren't necessarily the most talented, but the people that just like sell out and just have the most fun with it.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. How many times have we approached a jump and if you half-ass it, you get a really hard case and it hurts. And it's just like, wow, that would have been like actually much easier to just
go at it,
commit and get it. Yeah. You know, and so if you feel it and you're confident, go for it. You know, same thing, like technical climb sometimes, or even a downhill. If you know you got it, you know, have you ever been walking your bike down something and you're like, this would have been easier to just ride. This is so hard hiking my bike down this section right now. Like this is made to ride down and I can do it.
Yes.
You know? So,
well, this is a wonderful segue into another comment that we got about committing to jumps, my friend. Oh, did I just take your job? I think I just took your job.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. Unemployment, I would like to file a claim. Dude, we got a tip. I was talking about brake checking and putting on a fake pair of brakes so that I could squeeze the fake pair instead of the real pair and not actually slow down. Because the brakes are so good now that even if you just tap them, it used to be you had a little bit of play.
Right.
Now, if I tap them, I'm actually slowing down, which is great.
But
unless you're trying to fake brake check.
Yeah.
The tip comes from Fifth Circle. And it said, I had a great tip from a friend just a week ago. When you're tempted to brake but shouldn't, tap the top of your levers with your fingers instead of pulling them. I thought, no way this works. Sure enough, it did. And I started clearing the step up we were working on. It cleared my mind. I didn't brake, and that jump was instantly unlocked.
Oh, it's so good.
All right. So dirt therapy is the jump line. It's like the intermediate jump line here in Phoenix area. And there's a couple really big tabletops that I have just not been able to completely pull for. I'm brake checking into them. I'm coming in. It just feels like I'm coming in so fast.
Yeah.
And so I got that tip and I immediately went out and instead of brake checking on the second run, I just tapped the top. I just started tapping the top.
Oh,
no brakes.
Yeah.
And I flew over this thing and I cleared it. And it was on. I'm tapping brakes all the way down the trail. I still braked here and there, but it works. It definitely it took it out of my mind. It gave me a little bit of comfort that I was doing something. And then if you actually want to brake, it's too late. You're in it. You know, you only have a second to brake check. So it worked. I think it can work in tech also. There's a little bit of tech here and there on some of those trails where maybe you want to keep the flow going a little bit and just tap the brakes, the top of them instead. You still got control of the levers. I mean, you can still hit the brakes if you need to.
Yeah.
But Oh, dude, it was a revelation. Fifth Circle.
Yo.
Thank you. That is such an awesome tip. And I feel like for me, it unlocked another confidence level in jumping. It really, really helped. It's a legitimate, and whatever friend told Fifth Circle, right and left one in Gmail and YouTube comments. If you were brake checking, try this. Let us know if you've tried this before. I'd never heard it before. It's brilliant. It's so good.
Yeah. I have nothing to add. I have not tried it yet. I don't have a brake check problem as of right now. I don't have a brake check problem, but what a fantastic suggestion. So I'm glad it worked.
Yeah. Really awesome tip. So cool. And boy, am I grateful for this podcast. So cool.
Yeah.
All right. We are talking about short travel and long travel bikes, and I rode the demo bike from Keswick Cycles, the Gorbea Occam SL, and pretty blown away by how much fun it was after really just kind of being a long travel snob, I would say, like give me the travel and give me that aggressive geo. And Devin was on that ride with us, and he's a real big fan of the short travel, and he had some great comments. So if you're on the YouTube, if you haven't, go look at the comments. There's
so good,
great threads. You can join in. We have different listeners getting into other people's comments and having conversations. It's a really cool community in that sense. And so Devin says a lot of great things. I can't quote them all, but we were talking about one bike versus two bikes. You said that you would rather have one bike to do it all. And Devin's like, I would rather have the short travel bike and a long travel bike. And the phrase he used was different horses for different courses. I thought that was pretty clever. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Steve at Ben Spoke says, guys, I love my small travel bikes. My single speed's 120, 130. Steve's got is a primarily, I would say, a jump rider. He hits the jumps at Sears. He hits the jumps at the bike parks. He says, I hit everything on that, including the road gap. And it's the best on Salvation, which is a black jump line at Mountain Creek, which is an awesome trail. So he says, you don't need all the travel if we're not racing.
Yeah, I mean, Steve. By the way, Steve's got that e-bike now. He might be doing some cross country miles now. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's going to be a different rider.
He had a video recently where, and if you took a social media break, you need to when you're done, you need to go back and look where he took after riding the e-bike for a long time, he took his single speed, his short travel single speed back to the Sears and did all those jumps and was just loving it. Was just loving it, So
yeah,
the e-bike is a progression machine. It really is.
Oh yeah. No doubt. And Steve kills it on that single speed. And I tell you what, for jumping, the single speed makes a lot of sense. That's why DJs are all single speed. It's less to worry about. You just one gear and you're punching it. Again, going back to the Rockstar theme, like you're owning it. You're committing to it. There's no gears to save you here. You commit to that speed and you hold it. If you brake check, you might not be able to get the bike moving fast enough again. So kudos to Steve, man. That's good stuff. Yeah.
But I think he was talking more about the travel than the fact that bike's a single speed. I think he meant that it was a shorter travel.
I'm losing it. We got too heavy at the beginning.
Try Rebooting said, for me, it's all about the overall weight and pedal performance of the bike. So he loves his enduro bike, but he's also saying it's a lot of it's the tires and the suspension, and there's so much else in there. And we had a lot of people say, I've ridden bikes with more travel that are more playful than bikes with less travel. So it really depends on the bike, and if you find a bike that you love and it's perfect for you and it does it all, then great. And if you find a bike that's less travel and it's also fun, Try Rebooting also suggested that I go to Pivot and try one of their short travel bikes, which I thought was kind of a really good idea.
It really does come down to fun, and I think that's where my riding's at right now. When I first started riding, when you and I first started riding, it was very, I don't know if competitive was the right word, but we're mashers, we're hammers. I mean, we would throw down some big miles on the mountain bike, no less. I'm talking like 40, 50 miles with 6,000 feet on the regular, and that shifted.
Well, you said on the mountain bike, that's kind of a given. We're on the Ride and Laugh podcast. Did you?
I'm saying on the road bike. I mean, those are easy miles, but on a mountain bike.
Oh, you think there might be a roadie listening that's like, no big deal. You just want to be like, So roadies, if you're listening, trail miles are like triple what road miles are. What are they? Quadruple?
I would say no. I think you're right on. I think about, depending on where you're riding, I think that triple is a good number to start from. You know, everything's about 3 times harder. But my point was, you know, all those rides were very competitive, and it was like about having the most efficient machine, you know, even on the single speeds, they were titanium, you know, and when we had the bikes, they were carbon and they were small travel, and we were just like, how fast can we go? I'm not about that anymore. You know, I think I was telling you about this the other day when we were talking about my doppelganger that you famously said, yeah, I wish, you know, Tomomi. And when I watched him ride, he's, again, GoPro effects, so I have no idea how fast he is, but he didn't look like he was super fast. Remy was keeping up with him fine. But what I noticed was how much fun he was having on the trail.
Yeah.
You know, that's what riding is to me right now. And this bike, it might not be the fastest on the downhill. It might not be the fastest on the climb. But I tell you what, I have fun on this bike. It pops when I need it to pop. It climbs when I need it to climb. It descends like a beast when I need it to descend. But I'm not looking to be the fastest. Just want to have the most fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone's going to be on their own journey, right? Some people are going to say, no, I am training to be the fastest.
That's right.
But I think for you and I, we are looking to have the most fun. I think the majority of riders are looking to have the most fun. And I know that we came from a place, we were talking earlier about like our parents and the mentality and the way people have evolved with their emotions and that sort of thing. And I feel like we've evolved from, there was an immaturity in us where it was, you know, this toughness of we put in this many miles and we do this many feet of climbing every ride. And, you know, people on Strava, you know, are going to be impressed by these numbers and
so not.
And who cares? Like we never got a plaque. Strava never sent us a plaque of you got the most kudos or the most, but your kudos are better than someone else's kudos because you
we're waiting.
Who cares?
Kudos. Yeah. Who cares? Yeah. No, it's funny that you said that because when the e-bikes first came out, I was very much a earn your turns, and I've done a complete 180 because for me, it was about the fitness, right? Oh, if you're not on an e-bike, you're not getting the fitness. And listen, that's not the point here. We can go about, you know, I get just as tired on an e-bike or whatever. I don't want to have that argument. Here's what I want to say. What I want to say is, if you're having fun on the e-bike, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You know, it's another tool for me. That's why I would love to get one. And at the end of the day, if that's the goal, then you've won, and it doesn't matter. And the judgment piece needs to just stop. It just needs to stop. Somebody else having an e-bike doesn't prevent you from having fun. You know, it's
things change. I mean, I don't have cable anymore. I only have streaming services. I barely watch the streaming services. I mostly watch YouTube on my TV or on a tablet. Things change. Like that's very, very different than the way I consumed media in the 90s and in the 2000s. That's incredibly different. And mountain biking also has changed. It's so open and what's here for us, and let's all have fun. So yeah, things change and be open to it. Again, if you find yourself saying you should or you shouldn't be doing this or you should be doing it that way, there's that should word again. That's a judgment.
Right.
It's probably coming from a place of ego. It's coming from a place of thought that may not be serving you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you go down the bike line, you know, or the travel line, I'm sure this has been the argument since the beginning of time. You know, like the first caveman's like, oh, you got a wheel now? Oh, you're going to roll your wheel, you know, and then
a round wheel? Dude, I thought it was a square wheel. You're using round wheels? What a wimp.
You know, but that conversation probably happened, you know? It's like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. Yes, we're evolving. We're moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a place for it everywhere. I do see the temptation of the e-bike. I was on South Mountain last week, and I got to the top of a climb, and I saw this woman I saw her climbing National, and then she was at the top of Devastator. The names of the trails don't really matter, but she was at the top of the climb, and I stopped and we started chatting, and I was on my e-bike. Yeah. And she said she had been out for like 7 days in a row.
Yeah.
She didn't want to get the e-bike because she was scared that she would only ride the e-bike. And I was like, look, if you're out here riding South Mountain 7 days in a row, you're not the kind of person that's going to just switch to e-bike. Trust. However, it is so fun. It is.
It's
It is
addicting.
really just like, I mean, I could see. Yeah, I could see the temptation for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't, I mean, like we have such a background. We are so ingrained in mountain biking, and we already have that fitness background. But if you don't, and the fitness part is so hard, the e-bike is really tempting. But again, like, is there anything wrong with that?
Right.
If you
Who
want
cares?
to just become an e-biker.
Exactly. Yeah. Who cares, right? If you're having fun, then that's all that matters. You know, if you're doing mountain biking as a fitness thing, okay, then maybe you do need to care, right? But then put your time in on the trainer.
That's where it comes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. It's not even a conversation. Yeah. Stop it.
Everything's available. Yeah. Everything's available to us all the time. All right. Another great comment as far as long travel, short travel was from Byron. And he said, I have a different way of looking at it. Not overbiked, under trailed.
Oh,
so he's saying, get the big travel bike.
Clever.
Byron. Get on some harder trails. Yeah.
I see what you did there. Very nice.
I want to give a shout out to our buddy, A-Rock. He met us in Arkansas and in Oklahoma on Ride and Laugh Across America. And he was there for my jump journey into the urgent care and into the hospital, into the emergency room.
Journey right to the hospital. Yes.
yes. He got the full Danny experience. And we had video of me at Mount Penn on this podcast that we're discussing. And Aaron wrote, Dan, this is the first time I watched one of your videos or seen you jumping a bike where I thought you looked natural and comfortable. Good work, dude. I see you. And I mean, that's just mountain biking 101, just like supporting each other. And that meant a lot to me because Aaron's a good jumper. He's a good rider. But just having someone say, look, you're on the right path. You're doing it, you know, and then you and I do that for each other. But I tell this to my wife, and I say this to my kids all the time, look for something nice to say. Yeah. And then what happens is you start walking through life with the filter of positivity. What can I find that's nice? Yeah. Instead of the filter of judgment. Right? Oh, this person's on an e-bike. This person's on a single speed. That's silly, you know, the blah, blah, blah. Oh, dude, I saw that guy on a single speed. I was all about giving him his props. Yeah. Because I'm looking for nice things to say. Yeah. And so, Aaron, I appreciate that. And that meant a lot to me.
You know, it's something that you and I had just talked about not too long ago. And why do I feel like every one of my comments starts with, you and I have already had this conversation? But in any case, I distinctly remember talking to you because I sometimes I go back on my channel and I like to watch my old videos, just reminiscing, and I watch a lot of videos of you and just like how confident you were. You could see it in your riding. You didn't always used to be so clenched up. And man, this is what we're talking about this progression journey, right? It's not linear. You are famous for saying that. And I love that line because it gives us the grace to say, okay, you know what? Sure. I took one step back here, but that also means that we can take 2 steps forward. And you're doing that. People are on this journey with you as you come back from all these injuries. And I think the thing is, right, I mean, you talk about like the Bentonville crash, or you talk about the breaking your face. That was that moment when you started, your wife, she went through the cancer journey, right? And then, now we're talking about selling the business and all these things start weighing you down. And then you have the sport that you love kind of letting you down, right? In a way, now we twisted that. It didn't let us down. We learned something from that. But just to use that phrase, and those things are really heavy. We talked about it on a pod about, acknowledging that weight. Oftentimes when we talk about the universe and we talk about being unlimited, we don't allow ourselves that time for reflection. And I think that's really important. Acknowledgement that I'm going through something really hard and that's okay. It's okay to feel down sometimes. It's not okay to live there. It's not okay to just constantly be down. And that's what we're doing here is trying to pick ourselves up. Here are the tools that we use to pick ourselves back up and get us back on the right path. But acknowledge the fact that you're going through something tough, whether it's mountain biking or life.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't think that we need to put that into a category of universe talk versus non-universe, True. I really think whatever language is going to make you feel better, then live there. Feel that. That's okay. And if you're having a day and this is not the best day, lots of things went wrong at work or at home, and it's been a tough one, and you're tired. That's okay. Absolutely. But what's going to make me feel better? Is focusing on all those negative things and how everything's going wrong going to make me feel better? Or is focusing on the one thing that went right? I had a really tough day on Monday. 5 things went wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
That I could label as wrong. Monday morning, I was out at dirt therapy, and I cleared that jump. I did the brake tapping, and I cleared that jump.
Yes.
And so I'm getting ready for bed, and I got all these things on my mind. And I think, you know what? Of all these things that happened today, all these 6 major things that happened today, I'm going to pick the dirt therapy jump to think about while I'm going to sleep. Yeah. And I slept like a baby.
I love it.
And that's not always the case. Sometimes I pick one of the other things. Or my mind for me. Like, I had to focus. Like, what makes me feel good? What am I going to focus on? I cleared that jump. That's what I'm going to focus on. How good that felt. Landed that jump. That's what I'm going to focus on. And so we get to choose where we put our attention.
And that's the key, right? And that's the key. And that's what I love about this is you get to choose. You have the power. It's in your control. What you want to think about at the beginning of that drop, what you want to think about on the beginning of that crazy shoot or that big jump, you have the choice of what you want to think about.
Yes.
So what is it? You want to think about falling off the side of that the side of the cliff? You want to talk about making a crash at the bottom of the drop? Or do you want to envision and think about how good that feels to clear that? Or do you want to think about how good of a rider you are? Not that, oh, well, I can't do this. This isn't me. No, you want to have the thought, I can do this, and I am going to do this. I know how to do this. I love that.
That's right. And while we're thinking about the next thing that we're going to be doing, whether it's on the trail or in life, that's just an empty space. If we put anxiety in that, then we're going to rehearse disaster.
Right.
So if you find yourself rehearsing disaster, notice it. And then just what do you want to put in there and start rehearsing success? Well, wait a second. What if this all goes right? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And then suddenly it's just like, you know what? I choose that one and live from there. It's okay. It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong by feeling good. And just practice it. Play with it. See what happens.
Holy crap, dude. This is like 30 minutes in. This is 30 minutes in. This pod is deep, bro. We're going all over the place.
It's
good. Your money's worth.
Well, this is Ride and Laugh. You know, we'll joke about the Bee Gees and then we'll get into some mindset stuff. And, you know, flowing the bike, flowing life. I mean, it really is what we live by, and it's what we talk about. We're passionate about it, and we connect with it. And I think our listeners enjoy a lot of the mindfulness stuff. And anyone has any questions or feedback or comments, or just say thank you guys, please leave it in the YouTube comments. The comments help the algorithm. So leave a comment. We always respond. The responses have been great. And if you just want to say hello, or if you have, and Ride and Laugh 1 at Gmail, if you want to tell us a story, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Like the video. I think that helped also. Subscribe. Absolutely. Subscribers is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And if you're on the podcast player, make sure that you set us to auto download and set your little notification bell so you don't miss an episode. That's all good stuff. This is not the end of the podcast. I say that in the middle. Sometimes I always say it at the end.
Yes.
We still got mountain bike gratitude.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get started with my mountain bike gratitude because it just flows from our past conversation so well. Yeah. Because and I've used this one before, and of course we could use this every week. But really feeling it this week, my mountain bike gratitude is all of our listeners.
Yeah.
The listener tip to tap the brakes like that. Like I took that right to the trail and cleared a jump. Like that was awesome.
That's instant. Yes.
Yeah. Come on. I mean, it's amazing. You know, Aaron gave me encouragement. The stories that we got from our rock and roll, mountain bikers, and all the comments that we got from, short travel, long travel, and the different bikes people are riding, and the different tires and suggestions, and just like awesome comments going back and forth. I was joking around a couple pods ago that I didn't know if people were responding to our responses.
Yeah, you were. And
They've been paying attention. Yeah, like I gotta eat my words. Great conversation. So definitely check out the comments. It's so much fun in there. It really is. If you're listening on if you're listening on a podcast player, go into the YouTube and just peruse the comments and give us a like and subscribe while you're in there. But it's so much fun in there. There's so much great stuff. So the listeners are awesome. They support us. I love them. Gratitude, appreciation, and the community that we have. Mountain bikers are awesome. So it's no surprise that the Ride and Laugh listeners are even another level of awesome.
I think our mountain bike tips should have like levels of like implementation, like it's so great when a tip just works instantly, like to tap the brakes and it just like instantly works. Yeah. And then there are tips that you actually like have to like, it takes time to implement, like last week's tip of like turning the toes, like that's not going to happen instantly. Like you have to like work at that one. Yeah. So we need to.
I was working on that.
Oh, were you? How'd it go?
Yeah. It's not instant. It's very subtle and it's. Yeah. But I think anything that's going to help you move your hips is good. And so if you're thinking about moving your toes and pointing your toes, then your hips are going to naturally move. So I don't know if it's like the best tip for me. Mine might be more like with actually moving my hips or the flashlight and the belly button tip, but I'm going to continue to use it and play with it. Anything that makes me more active on the bike. And I think that's the point. If you're pointing toes, then you're going to be a little bit more active, a little bit more dynamic. Getting heavy light. There's so much subtle nuance to mountain bike that just opens up so much more fun and flow. And I feel like every ride, every other ride, every third ride, I start to unlock another piece of that a little bit. And it's just so much fun. It's such a great sport. It really is. There's so much here for us. I'm so grateful.
It really is. And back to what your gratitude was. I mean, I also feel the same way. I've learned so much from our listeners. Let's face it, you and I, when it comes to mountain bike tech, like the technical aspects of mountain biking, maybe not best experts. Yeah, like we're pretty good on the mindset, but like on technique and actual numbers, like torque wrenches and stuff like that. Maybe not the best, but I've learned so much from our listeners regarding all those things, including mindset, and you know what, that goes right into my gratitude, which is something that our listeners suggested to me, which is radial tires. And my gratitude goes out to, by the way, another tip on how to pronounce the name Schwalbe. Schwalbe, not Schwalbe. Schwalbe.
I like the E. I like the E more, by the way. Schwalbe sounds like
Schwalbe?
Bald.
Did someone told us? I'm pretty sure someone told us it was like Charles Schwalbe, right? It was like Charles Schwalbe. So that's how I'm pronouncing
that's right.
it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yes.
See, I was listening.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I was running the Alberts.
I'm thinking of Charles Xavier, who was bald.
Sorry.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
right.
He's got Schwalbe tires on his wheelchair. I don't know if you knew that, but they actually are. He's got radials.
Yes. Yeah. That dude shreds. He absolutely shreds. Yes. Well, anyway, JJ, our buddy Jeff Jackson, recommended radial tires and actually gave me several tips on how to make the radial tires more usable, because when I first did them, I didn't like them. And it turns out we were running too low of a PSI. As it turns out, I freaking love these tires. And I realized that tires are very personal. Like you'll have your favorite. This has become my new favorite. And I just wore through my back tire and I liked it so much. I got another one. Thank you, Schwalbe Albert radial tires. You've been a fantastic tire. You have taken me all over the mountain to all different places. I got to ride Arizona. I got to road trip across America on these tires. So much gratitude for this piece of rubber, man. Holy crap. Ooh.
So did that one set of tires how long were those tires on for a rear tire? I mean, that's incredible. I'm stumbling through this because I'm amazed.
I know.
Incredible longevity.
I know. I got them. I remember I was forced to get them because I basically ripped through my tire at the Mountain Creek.
Park. Yeah.
Yes. That was back in like last July or whatever. I mean, it's been a long time
ago.
I know. The tire lasted over a year. Incredible. I'm blown away.
Wait a second. Did you throw the tire away? I need to see this tire. I just threw away a Maxxis. I don't think I got a picture of it. Had 200. It came stock with the bike, so I'm not. I don't remember which compound it was. It was the eBike tire. 200 miles, like completely bald. I mean,
wow.
ridiculous.
Super soft. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy, man. Well, listen, I'll take a picture of the tread and I'll put it in right here. So if you're looking for that picture, I'll put it in there, but it's not about the longevity of the tire. That is nice. I've just liked,
that's true.
I've just liked the radial. Yeah. It's a different feel. And I didn't want to spend the money. That was my problem. I didn't want to spend the money. Well, here I am. I'm sold. I am sold and I spent the money. It was expensive, but Gratitude, man, they were great tires. Yeah.
Jeff Jackson told us to increase the PSI, and that made all the difference. I have a Magic Mary on the front of my Firebird, and I put the CushCore in there, and I have a regular Maxxis on the back, not a radial. And so I kind of want to try it without the radial, because now that I have the CushCore, it's just kind of, I'm not really sure what PSI exactly to run. Because with the radial, you go more PSI, but with the CushCore, you go less. Yeah. So it's kind of left. I'm not exactly sure what's ideal. Ride and Laugh on a Gmail YouTube comments if you have any suggestions on that.
Well, it's interesting that you said that, because the radials actually feel like crap when you have too low of a PSI. They actually work better when they're hard. So the marriage of a CushCore and a radial, like I would love to hear listeners' feedback. If someone's running a radial with CushCore, how are they doing that? Because like when I wrote a lower PSI of what I'm used to riding, it was absolute crap, which is why JJ made that comment. He was like, dude, I run like 3 or 4 PSI over what I normally ride. And when I did that, everything changed. So holy crap.
I went 5 over. I think that crash on Old Man, we talked about that a long time ago, but I had a crash on a really steep, rocky kind of slab section where if you look at the video, the tire looks like it grips and doesn't let go. Right. And I was running regular PSI with the radial tire, and it looked like it wasn't enough. It might have actually stuck out my wheels stuck a little bit. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
Mountain bike tip is a perfect transition, because it actually has to do with these tires again. And I forget where I learned this, but it's my back tire. It's my back tire that is finally worn out. You typically get more traction from the front. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this tire and put it on the front, and take the front tire and put it on the back. You don't need much tread on the back because your weight is over the back tire. The tread is actually more important on the front. So if you have the ability and you're good at switching tires, take your existing front tire and move that, assuming the back one's the one that's worn out. Take that, put it on the back, and put the new tire on the front. That is the mountain bike tip. Danny, did you hear that one before?
I think I have heard that before. That's a mountain biker on a budget, and that's certainly going to help. I think that makes a ton of sense. You really get the grip with the front wheel. The back wheel, oftentimes, even the way they sell tires, like people don't often ride the same exact tire front and rear. Now mountain bike companies are making front specific tires and rear specific tires.
That's a really good point.
Yes.
You killed my tip.
So I think that Albert, you could probably do both, but a lot of times, you're going to want a rear specific tire and a front specific tire. But certainly the front is going to last a lot longer. There's no doubt about that. You're just going to have to change it less. If you're running CushCore, I'll tell you this much: if you're running CushCore, you are not doing that tip. I am not taking an extra tire off.
Switching. Oh, good Lord.
I tried to replace. I did replace the rear tire on my. So I installed CushCore on my Firebird for the first time, and it's been a revelation. I love it. I don't want to get too into it. We can talk about another podcast because we're coming up against it here, but I absolutely love it. The eBike, the shop installed the CushCore for me. When I got it, they said, "Do you want to go CushCore?" I thought this makes a lot of sense. It's a 50-pound bike. Let's do it. Yeah. And then that rear tire just wore out so quickly. I bought a replacement tire, and I would say getting the tire off of the rim was harder than putting the new CushCore on the rim.
Wow.
I had such a hard time getting it off.
Yeah.
And then I guess I didn't look at I wrestled with it so much, and I guess I didn't look at the tape well enough before I remounted. And so then I got the CushCore back on. I put the new tire on, which is still a lot of work. and it wasn't holding air, and it was getting worse and worse.
Oh no!
To the point
you hit the
where
tape.
I just ended up taking it over to the shop, and I was having that issue with the cranks anyway, where the cranks were falling off. So I took it over to the shop, and the next day they were like,
tape's gone.
Yeah, the tape was a mess.
Yeah, the tape was gone. Yeah.
That was user error. Also, they said, we've never seen so much sealant in a tire before. I didn't actually say that, but I told them, I was like, it wasn't holding air, so I just kept putting more sealant in. Like, that must be the problem. So yeah, they were like, yeah, we figured that's what was happening. I'm sure it made quite a mess. Thank you, everyone at Amigos. Thank you, Max. And apologies to shop floor.
Shop floor.
Which is now orange.
Hashtag gratitude. That's so funny. Hey, I got a question then. I got a question then, because you're right. My mountain bike tip only works if you're running the same tire front and back. How many people out there are running different tires? I've never done that. I've never run a different tire on the front than the back. Yeah, I've always run the same tire. Is that crazy? I don't know. It's just, to me, I don't know. Tread is...
You might love it, dude.
I haven't struggled.
I know, but could be even better.
I know. If tires were less expensive, I'd be more willing to try. But at these prices, like, it's just easier for me to get the same tire on the front and back. And I've never struggled with traction. It's something where I feel like my technique is actually holding me back more than the tires. The more that I play around with this weighting and unweighting, that makes more of a difference than tire tread for me at this point. But I'd be curious.
Well, so you think? I wonder if improved tire tread would make you even more of a turning machine, even more traction, even more confidence. Schwalbe. Come on, Charles Xavier. Hey,
Charles Xavier.
Hook a brother up. You can read your mind right now. Yes. Read my mind and get my boy some free tires. Come on, Schwalbe.
Oh, such
a perfect sponsorship opportunity. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to be involved in this right now? Yeah,
I know.
Well, you can talk about. You've already talked about how great tires. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, we got to get him get into Cerebro and just talk to Schwalbe. Yeah, I love it. Come on now.
Yeah. We're the X-Men of podcasts, of mountain bike podcast.
Oh, dude. Yes. Oh, we need
Should we
names
get X-Men names?
I was about to say we need names, and the listeners are gonna have to come up with it.
I'm a little concerned.
What? No, stop it. It's only going to be good. You watch. Our listeners are going to come through. We're going to get awesome X-Men names.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can't wait. All right. I was thinking Lanko, but I don't think it really works.
Lanko.
So it's not very exciting.
Lanko. That's terrible.
I'm setting the bar low. We can only get better. Thank you, Lanko. Thanks for all your mindset tips, Lanko. Everybody loves listening to Lanko on Wednesday morning. Come on.
That's right.
Your favorite. Come on. That's right. Thanks, Lanko.
Yes.
All right. Well, please, everyone, if you're still listening, you are definitely one of us. You love mountain biking. Like and comment. And I'm glad you're here with us, having fun. Gratitude. We appreciate everyone. Like, comment, Ride and Life One at Gmail, YouTube comments. Costa Rica, Sage is wearing the jersey. I thought you were going to bring it up more. You brought it up once, but yeah, can't wait to get mine.
This jersey speaks for itself.
That's going to be an awesome trip. Yes. So email us any questions if you're contemplating the trip. I know people are starting to sign up, so get in there. And if you're contemplating it and you're not sure, like I think it's intermediate really and up. And once you pay, you fly down there. And once you pay, it's all inclusive, like shuttles, food, lodging.
Yes.
We're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be riding. It's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be content. There's gonna be we'll be talking about it on the podcast and shooting videos. So it's gonna be a great time. Please think about joining us in January 2027. And there's a link in the show notes.
That's right.
That's it, everyone. Check out the Instagram. And what else, Sage? Did I miss anything?
No, Lanko, you did great.
All right. Well, in that case, have a great week and a great ride, everyone. Ride and laugh.
I'll see you, everyone.